Everyone, welcome to our show today. Welcome our esteemed guest who has an outstanding knowledge of the market trends related to today's job market. He graduated from the University of Penn with a master's degree in finance and bachelor's in economics. With years and years experience in the financial industry, let's give a warm welcome to Anthony Cicco. Hey Anthony, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. All right. To jump right into it, my first question is, do you believe that you are qualified to work in your position with your education level?
Coming in from a top university, especially with what we're talking about today, I'm noticing a significant shift in the job market. In the past, companies competed for skilled, innovative employees that came from top-ranked universities they had. Now it feels like the opposite. Overqualified candidates, they're struggling to land roles that would have paid fairly just a few years ago. Many businesses right now, they're seeming to prioritize cutting labor costs over, retaining those experienced, well-landed employees. For example, I was reading an article the other day. A senior at Amazon, she was laid off after 8 years and offered the same job, but at 65% of her former pay. That just shows kind of how the job market's been in the most recent years and how they're willing to, just give you much less to stay for the same job.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I think I completely agree with you, and I've been seeing that a lot. So this new overcompetitive job market must really be affecting newly graduate college students and others joining the workforce. From your perspective, how is this affecting the moral of many financial analysts across the United States?
These hits to the job market have hit no one more than young financial analysts trying to start their career. I had to interview a young graduate from, a prestigious university that had all the credentials to back her up and answered all my questions like that. She had everything down. She knew what she was talking about. But when I got to the question, why do you want to work with us? She was dumbfounded. I mean, she could not answer why she wanted to work with us and what her passions were. And it just showed me that all these young graduates, they just want the security of having a job in today's market. They're becoming increasingly scared of branching out and finding what they love. They prefer to just stay safe, get a job, and work for whatever they're given.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. Do you personally believe that you have experienced a fair salary for your education level?
I'm fortunate enough to not be affected by this problem as many other fields have been. Some of the upper echelons of the job market, they're relatively untouched. The majority of labor expenses that we're looking at here, they're coming from the lower level workers. I mean, from retail to technology engineering. The problem expands upon more than just a few companies, and it's been a noticeable trend for the past 6 years.
All right, that is really interesting. From your research, is there any industries that you have noticed are significantly struggling with pay cuts?
So job cuts and pay cuts, they arise for several reasons. The biggest pay cuts we've seen recently, they've been in the government and in retail. As for just pay cuts, we've seen mainly a slow regression in employee rights and privileges from the employer. So a good example of this would be the replacement of the pension with the 401(k). It's just been a slow but steady transfer of power from the employee to the employer.
Okay, okay. And from your studies and from your personal experience, have you noticed a drop or decline in talent that is prevalent in just financial analysts or any other areas that you studied like significantly?
So, in my experience and research, many industries are now prioritizing cost over qualifications. With the job market flooded by college graduates, employers often hire less experienced workers to save money, and they train them instead of paying for seasoned talent. This shift gives employers more bargaining power, and it places added pressure on experienced staff to compensate for underqualified new hires, even at my firm.
Okay. And then this increase of people who are underqualified or just taught, how is this affecting businesses and why is it more beneficial to hire someone that is more experienced in that sort of field?
So companies are cutting costs by hiring inexperienced workers and training them through streamlined production-like processes. While these reduce expenses, it also limits creativity and the value of experienced employees that they can bring. True progress, it comes from innovation, not just saving money.
Okay. So in your line of work, do you personally work with someone or know people that are in your same job that are being underpaid for their level of education?
So these younger workers, they're flooding the market and they'll eventually push some of the more experienced people out. Companies seem to plan on hiring these young workers, having us, the more experienced workers, kind of just put them through the raffle, see how they perform. And then once they're good enough, they push us out.
Okay. All right. Wow. What should be done to improve the amount of retention, and what percentage raise in salary do you believe would be enough?
So retaining experienced employees requires real investment. While cutting costs may please investors short term, it often harms the quality of the product or service. To attract and keep talent, businesses must offer competitive pay, cost of living raises, and meaningful incentives. Tools like ZipRecruiter, Jobs Report is what I always recommend to people around me that aren't too experienced in this. It's a simple tool, and it will help you see how the jobs have shifted over time and how you can fight it.
Okay. How do you think that the companies that will have to increase their pay to become competitive respond to these new raise in salaries?
Well, they're certainly not going to like it. I mean, I don't like it when my water heater breaks and I have to get a new model installed. But although I don't like to spend the extra money on a newer water heater, I know in the long run it's going to work more efficiently than the previous model and it's going to last me longer. So this is how employers used to look at hiring new employees, but this is simply just not how they look at it now. They need to look at it as a long-term investment. Employers aren't going to like switching back, but it's going to become a very harsh realization of a lack of work or quality if they don't in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I really appreciate the time that you spent with us here today. I want to say
Thank you.
thank you, and my viewers would say thank you if they were here with me. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
At the end of our show today, I just wanted to say thank you to our guest speaker today, and I want to say thank you to my viewers all across the nation. To leave off, pay increases and hiring talent need to be implemented in corporate America immediately. Um, Going through all the research that he had, our guest speaker, and through all this information, we really need to take action and start implementing these things in corporate America. And again, I really want to say thank you to all my viewers and thank you from our guest speaker today. I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.